Hey everyone, Andy from WagerTalk.com. We're going to break down UFC Fight Night, Yusuff versus Barboza. We're going to break down every fight. I am late this week on getting this video up because I don't have an official play up for Wager Talk on this one. I'll be honest and just say this is a card I don't like betting-wise. There's a lot of spots that I think can trip people up. I'm going to break down fights, but I would just say there's only a couple spots that I think are bet-worthy. This could be a trap. If you have great reads on it, please let me know in the comments section. Let me know what your best bets are because I'm struggling with this one. I'll give you all my thoughts. If it helps you make a bet or if it helps you stay off of losing bet, then by all means, video is totally worth it. But the only thing really to promote, we're using the promo code AL10, gets $10 off a one-day pass for Sunday. We'll have a 5% NFL play that will be up once the official line comes out for our prop. So 4-1 this year on 5% plays. Sundays is no brainer. That's the day to use this promo code. So I know this is a UFC video, but the whole goal is to make money. And we always say the best way to make money is to not lose it. So I don't want to lose any money on this week's card. So let's get into this week's card and we'll start breaking down these fights here. Yoder and Emily Ducote, it's a fight I just don't want anything to do with my hard-earned money. I mean, Ashley Yoder's bad. 1-4 in her last 5. 8-8 as a pro. She does not offer a lot of good offensive weapons. Her punches are not that crisp or powerful. Her leg kicks are not that effective. She doesn't throw enough of them. If she threw enough leg kicks, they might add up, but she just doesn't. And, you look at Emily Ducote, she's going to be better on the feet. Her punches are going to be much better. All 3 of her UFC fights have gone the distance. She does not have great striking defense. I think this is a fight that kind of takes place on the feet. If you're into playing to start round 2, I think this is probably a good one, but I'm going to be honest. With Ducote's power in round 1 and her lack of defense, it would not surprise me if one of them got popped pretty good. So I guess you're taking overs. Ducote can slow down as the fight goes on, but this is just a fight I just don't think is very bettable, especially at this price. I mean, Ducote's minus 285. There's no chance I'm laying that in a parlay. It's way too risky. Been burned on fights like that, so that fight is going to be a pass for me. Chris Gutierrez and Alatengheili. I like Gutierrez. I think he really screwed up his last fight against Pedro Munoz, and he did come out and say that. And when we look at, his record, I mean, this guy's ripped off a ton of wins in a row before losing to Munoz. So when you saw his last fight, he was out of sync. He let Munoz walk him down. He let Munoz control the pace. He did not land enough leg kicks, and he said it. It was completely bad fight on his part. I think he gets back to it. I think he gets back to those leg kicks, and I do like Alatengheili. I just don't think he's going to have quite enough to come up with a 3-round win. It would have to be a knockout, which can he win? Yeah, he knocked out Kevin Kroom, but it's Kevin Kroom. Then you got to go back to 2018, the road to UFC to find a knockout. So I just don't think he's got the knockout power. And this is a pretty big step up in competition for Alatengheili. Chris Gutierrez was really on the rise before a bad fight. I think there's a nice rebound spot for Chris Gutierrez. I would expect him to fix those issues that he had against Munoz and not let himself get walked down and be controlled. So I would lean Gutierrez in that one. Irina, Alekseeva, and Melissa Dixon. Here's another fight I don't want anything to do with. So I guess we'll start with Irina Alekseeva. So the Russian Ronda, she comes over. They call her the Russian, Ronda, even though, she'd only won one fight by armbar. She fights Stephanie Edgar and wins by knee bar in a fight. Stephanie Edgar looked like she was completely asleep and wanted nothing to do with it. I don't even know how much we could take away from that fight for Alekseeva, but she makes her UFC debut. She gets the knee bar win. Awesome job by her. And then she's facing Melissa Dixon, who, you look at this, okay, 5-0. That must mean she's pretty good. Oh, wow. A ground and pound finish with 1 second left in her last fight to someone that's 7-0. Go watch that first round. It's only 5 minutes. Go watch that first round. Melissa Dixon was beat to hell. She was a bloodied up mess. She has no striking defense. Now, her elbows on the ground and pound did incredible amounts of damage. So I know she has power, but man, did she take a beating in that fight. So she's 5-0, but man, do I have questions. Before that, went to decision in Aris FC Golden Ticket Fight Promotion. I don't know what that is. So I just have a lot of questions about No Mess, Melissa Dixon. So this is a fight I don't want anything to do with. If anything, this is a women's fight you're taking to not go the distance. Maybe that's the best way to play it, because based on what I saw from Melissa Dixon, those fights are not going to last long, and Alekseeva can get the submission, or if her striking is even remotely decent, she should be able to piece up Dixon on the feet. But trying to pick a winner at those odds, no chance. So, but yeah, I encourage everyone to go watch Melissa Dixon's last fight. It's only 5 minutes. And it's absolutely worth it. I'll be honest, this one just got added. Terrance, McKinney, and Brendon, and the odds are like so ridiculous. I do not know anything about Brendon. I really, truly don't. So I have not researched this one. All I will say is it's a Terrance McKinney fight. So if you're looking for a parlay piece, Terrance McKinney fights to not go the distance are in play. So, okay, Tainara, Lisboa, and Ravena, Oliveira. I really like Tainara Lisboa. I'm very high on her skill set. I know she's 6-2, and she's ripped off 4 wins in a row, and I just thought she'd made an incredible UFC debut. I know it was against Jessica Rose Clark, but it's still a UFC debut where you can have a lot of jitters. She looked great. Good, crisp striking combinations, good power. She did get taken down by Jessica Rose Clark, but she was able to get back up. She defended other takedowns. She got taken down in round 3. She got damage and had enough cardio to reverse the decision and submit Jessica Rose Clark. So I thought that was a really good look that you had the cardio or that you actually got a chance to see what her cardio looked like, and it looked great. So I'm high on her skill set, and I think she wins. She's a massive favorite, but I will tell you, these fighters that kind of come out of nowhere that UFC has been putting in there, is like, who's that? They weren't on Contender Series. We haven't seen them, outside of some of these regional scenes, and all of a sudden here they are fighting on UFC card. I can't find a whole lot on Oliveira. I watched her against Simone de Silva. Not that impressed. It looked okay, but it looked a little wild. It looked a little uncontrolled. But I can't find much on these other 2 fights. And look at who she's fighting. 8-5. Okay, that's fine. 0-0, 0-0, 0-0, 1-1, 0-1, 0-0. That's who she's fighting? And she's getting a shot in UFC? We've seen this before where this unknown... I mean, you could look at the Russian Ronda Rita, who we just talked about. She comes and beats Stephanie Egger as a huge underdog. So these fights where I just don't know that much about Oliveira. I've looked it up. I just don't think the film is that impressive. But I'm just saying, stay away from this fight. This is too huge of a price. You can't lay almost minus 400 on a complete unknown in this women's fight. So I like Lisboa. I think she should win, but again, I am not willing to pay that price. I would stay away from this fight. Don't know. Could be over quick. Could go 3 rounds. There's just too many questions about Oliveira, who I don't know enough about. Darren Elkins and TJ Brown, 2 tough guys. Don't blink in this one. These 2 guys are going to stand toe-to-toe and just blast each other. Like, as soon as the ref is like, let's go, it's going to be on. Absolutely could be fight of the night. Both are just big, wild with their striking, and they will both eat one to land one. My hunch is they will both eat and land a lot. Elkins is 39. And what's crazy is he might have the better cardio at this point. So, you look at Darren Elkins. He loses a decision to Pierce, wins a decision to Connolly, loses early loses to Cub Swanson, but does win against Minner. So he's been beating the bad guys and losing to the good ones recently. And you got TJ Brown here, and he loses the choke to Bill Algeo. I don't think that's gonna happen again. I don't think that Darren Elkins is gonna look for the the rear naked choke. We did see him get a really impressive win against Eric Silva. I was high on Eric Silva, and TJ Brown wins a one. I just think this fight's not going the distance. Just watching these two, I think they're going to talk, like the fight is just going to end up being a brawl, because that's what these guys like doing. And once one of them starts the brawl, the other's going to say, "Oh, no, 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 watch this." And it's just going to be a brutal fight. I think one of them goes to sleep. Don't know who, but I guess the value's in the dog, because if they stand there toe-to-toe, one of them's going to get knocked out. Who knows who it could be? But I don't have opinion on this fight to winner. I just don't think it goes the distance. Christian Rodriguez, Cameron Saaiman. Here's another candidate for fight of the night. This should be awesome. Kind of like the underdog in Cameron Saaiman. It's tough to compare these guys. You have Christian Rodriguez, who, of course, is coming off the amazing win against Raul Rosas, where he gets dominated in round one. Raul Rosas gasses out, and Rodriguez takes the next 2 rounds, gets the win. Okay, good win, but before that, takes out Joshua Weems, does lose to Jonathan Pierce in his UFC debut. So I don't know, kind of it's a little bit difficult to figure him out. And then Cameron Saaiman, like, I know this win against Terrance Mitchell was, I guess it was a good win. Terrance Mitchell is terrible. He's not UFC caliber, but got to give Saaiman credit. He did what he had to do. He goes out, gets the win. So he does win a majority against Mana Martinez, and I thought that Mana Martinez, that was a good-looking win, but man, now you look at Mana Martinez, who lost to Ronnie Lawrence, lost to Saaiman, and he goes out and he loses quick in Fury FC. So I don't know how good, the wins are. I thought his fight against Steven Kozlov was really good. That was a good performance. I just think this fight is so evenly matched that the value is in who was ever the underdog. Like, if these odds were switched, I would tell you that, Christian Rodriguez at plus 115 would be the favorite. So, no opinion on this one. This is a fight I would stay away as a fan. I'm just looking to see which one of these young guys is going to come out, and maybe we learn a little bit more about him going forward. I think Saaiman has the higher ceiling. That's why I lean him just a little bit. But again, no official plays on this one. All right, this is the fight that I do. I have a parlay, and I have Edgar Chairez in a money line with a golf play. So this is the only official play that I've done. This is a rematch. I'm not even gonna click on it. Daniel Lacerda has lost all of his UFC fights. He's been finished in all of them. Chairez was choking him out. The ref stops it correctly, I believe, and then they go back and they go, "Oh no, it was a little early." So they rule it. It's nonsensical that this is actually a rematch. I don't think Lacerda makes any improvements. I think Chairez does actually get the finish here. You just can't bet on Lacerda. I mean, my God. Guy's been finished in round. He hasn't even seen round 3 in 4 fights in the UFC because he's been finished before that. So if you're going to play Chairez, you might as well play inside the distance, or you just use him money line as a parlay piece like I have. So that's all I have on this one. This one just got added. Michel Pereira and Andre Petroski. Definitely a stay away for me. I'm not a fan of Petroski, and yet here he is 10-1, and he just keeps winning. And he just wins these close ones. He just won a split decision against Gerald Mearshart. And you're just kind of waiting for Petroski to not win, and yet there he is, like Wellington Turman, unanimous decision. Nick Maximoff gets the anaconda, and then split decision against Gerald Mearshart. He keeps winning, and yet I always walk away and I go, that wasn't a great performance. So I guess we got to start giving him credit. Michel Pereira, he does appear to have fixed his cardio issues, but we have to go back well over a year to find his last fight. So what's he been doing? He's had a bunch of canceled fights. So this is not a guy that's just taking time off because of injury or anything. The fights just keep getting canceled. So I imagine he's probably in pretty good shape. It does look like he can gas late, but so can Petroski, especially if Petroski gets, like, if it's a stand-up fight. I just don't think Petroski's got the cardio on the feet. So my guess is Pereira does whatever it takes to keep it on the feet and tire out Petroski. I'm guessing Andre wants to get it down to the ground and wrestle, but again, no opinion here on this one. This fight was just added this week. Jonathan Martinez and Adrian Yanez. This is probably the leader in the clubhouse for fight of the night candidate. I mean, so tough to pick this one, but because we're doing this free video, I will make a pick for this show only. Do not bet on it, but let's see if we can call this one right. I like Jonathan Martinez in this one. The odds are really, really close, and depending on what sportsbook you can get different odds. So I look at Adrian Yanez here, and the power's, indisputable. Like, knockout. That was a great fight against Davy Grant that went to a split decision. Wins, knocks out Randy Costa. Counter right, round 3, Lopez. This fight against Rob Font, he was beating up Rob Font's face, but he got cocky. His striking defense was not there, and Rob Font is a boxer. And Rob Font was on his way to losing, and like big black eye under that healed broken orbital bone for Font, and Font lands when Yanez just showed his striking defense wasn't up to shape. And when you're fighting a boxer like Rob Font, he's going to catch you if you have your hands down. So Yanez would have to fix that. And we have Jonathan Martinez, 18-4, won a slew of fights in a row. This fight against Said Nurmagomedov was amazing. He showed so much toughness in that fight. So I'm going to lean on Martinez, mostly because of the kicks. Martinez has these great kicks, and I think he's going to tune up Adrian Yanez's legs. And I think he's going to use them in the first round. And Yanez better do some damage to Martinez in the first round, because I think if Martinez keeps landing those kicks, it's going to be harder and harder for Yanez to keep pushing forward and utilize that power. He does have great power, but look at Jonathan Martinez. He's only been knocked out one time, and that was 2021 Davy Grant. That was his last loss. So he doesn't get knocked out. He's very, very tough. Now, this is going to be one of the toughest and hardest punchers that he's faced, but I think he's got too many weapons. I think he can win the clinch if he pushes it up against the fence. I think he just pulls away. I think it's a really close fight. Obviously, it's a Yanez fight. Anything could happen. You could get knocked out. But if Martinez controls the pace, I think he uses the kicks. I think he uses his length, pushes him up against the fence at times, and he wins by decision. So I'm going to lean Jonathan Martinez on here. It's not going to make the official card for Wager Talk, but that's my pick in that one. But, man, what a great fight. Jennifer Maia, Viviane Araujo, and there's only one way to bet this fight, and that is to take it to go the distance. Both women going to stand on the feet, my guess. You just look it up. Last 8 fights for Viviane have gone the distance. I mean, like, decision. And then, Jennifer Maia says, hold my beer. I mean, look at her. Decision. She does have a win by armbar over Jamin Wood, but then decision. Like, it's just full decision. So I know it's going to be juicy, but good parlay pieces. This one, I think it should be an entertaining fight. I think it's a dog or pass situation where you just, what's the dog right now? Yeah, Viviane. She's lost 2 in a row, but she's still good at striking. I'm not that impressed with Jennifer Maia. It's going to take place on the feet. And when it takes place on the feet, who knows how the judging goes? Maybe one surprise takedown at the round sways around one way or the other. But the only way to bet this, in my opinion, is to take the overs in this fight. And we come down to the main event, Sodiq Yusuff and Edson Barboza. Before we break this one down, guys, just remember, use that promo code AL10. Gets $10 off a one-day pass. Use it on Sunday. It gets all of our NFL plays. Having a great NFL year. 4-1 on 5% plays, and that 5% play will be available on Sunday morning. So you can use that, get $10 off one-day pass. I do not have an official play up for Wager Talk for UFC. However, next card, loving all the chaos in that card. I want nothing to do with all those fights on the main card. But, boy, those prelims and early prelims, yes, sir. So, all right, let's break down Sodiq Yusuff and Edson Barboza. So, I like Sodiq Yusuff. Obviously, his YouTube videos of fight predictions are hilarious. Lost to Arnold Allen, but other than that, he's running through guys. Takes care of quick work of Don Shane in 30 seconds. Good win against Chairez, and then you go back Andre Fili, Gabriel Benitez. So I like him. My problem is he's so low volume on his striking. 64 significant strikes in 3 rounds against Chairez, only 47 against Arnold Allen. And why I'm having a hard time betting on him is that is a recipe to have a really close decision. I don't know. I'm kind of throwing this fight out. Don Shane is nowhere near the caliber of Edson Barboza, so it's pretty hard to say, well, Yusuff, he's been running through guys. Well, he's been he ran through Don Shane. That's great. So Edson Barboza, he gets the crazy win. Man, that knee against Billy Q was amazing. He did lose against Bryce Mitchell and Giga, and you got to worry about the cardio of Edson Barboza. Bryce Mitchell tired him out. Giga tired him out. My worry is he slows down as the fight goes on. But because Yusuff is so low volume, can he actually zap the cardio out of Edson Barboza? I'm not sure. Bryce Mitchell easily can tire people out with his wrestling. Giga and that kickboxing, yeah, he can make it a nightmare fight. I'm not sure Yusuff does that. He's low volume. He will push you against the fence and he will win some clinch battles and everything. But Barboza does have early knockout power. I don't think he gets there, but I didn't think he was going to knock out Billy Quarantillo. So a stay away here. I can't take an under because Barboza can end fights early with his power. I don't think Yusuff ends it early, and I think this fight gets close. If it goes to decision, I think this could be one of those where the announcer comes out judge one, scores it, and oh great, we got a split decision. So I'm passing on this one as well. Passing on a lot of fights. I wouldn't take to start round 2 in this one. If I had to pick, ever so slight lean to Yusuff because of Barboza's cardio, and if you're Yusuff and in your camp, you're saying, hey, man, we got to have a busy round 1. We need to push this guy. We need to get him huffing and puffing and sweating so when round 1 is over, he's tired. So yeah, those are my picks here on this. And I know this is not an exciting breakdown, but honestly, guys, I would rather be way more cautious than tell you to bet a bunch of bets that I don't believe in. So Yoder and I guess I'll lean Emily here, just because of striking, but I'm not betting it. Chris Gutierrez, Alatengheili, lean Gutierrez to get back on track. Alekseeva and Dixon to not go the distance. Again, got to watch that Dixon fight. Terrance McKinney, under if this fight is still on. I like Tainara Lisboa, but no shot I'm laying that kind of money against an unknown here. Elkins and TJ Brown under. I'd like that fight to not go the distance. Christian Rodriguez, Cameron Saaiman, great fight. No strong opinion. Dog or pass. Edgar Chairez, I am confident Chairez takes care of Lacerda. I would take Chairez inside the distance. Michel Pereira and Andre Petroski, no strong opinion. Lean Pereira to win over 3 rounds. Jonathan Martinez, Yanez, so excited for this fight. Lean Martinez. It's going to be fun to see who wins that one. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think is your best bet for this week, and leave a thumbs up. Jennifer Maia and Viviane Araujo. This one goes a distance, and Yusuff Barboza, no opinion. So, sorry, guys. I know that's not the most exciting, amazing video I've ever done on the UFC. I was debating whether or not to do one, and then someone asked me on Twitter last night if I was going to do a video. All right, we'll do one. So, good luck on all your plays for UFC this weekend. I will be live on the YouTube channel Takedown Live for my good buddy Jim. We'll be giving out in-fight wagers. We may have some good opportunities for some in-fight wagers, but we're going to have fun. We'll have a show best bet on there as well once I collaborate with Jim. And we had an amazing season of Dana White Contender Series. So we're live on the YouTube channel Takedown Live. Grab all plays at wagertalk.com. Hit the like button. Leave me a comment. Tell me your best bet. Good luck. We'll see everyone next week.